Hey Motorheads, we have a great show coming your way today. Just check out these Jeeps we have in the studio. Gorgeous builds. We'll show you how to get yours from mild to wild and everything in between. Plus, lots more, including our weekly visit from Professor John Gardner. Motorhead Garage is ready. Are you set? Let's go.
Motorhead Garage, the program that each week introduces you to and shows you how to install the latest in exciting and innovative products for your vehicle. Now here's your host, Dave Dobson.
Thanks for being with us here at Motorhead Garage, presented by DragonfireTools.com. Now, our good friends at Truckers Warehouse are here again, and you might remember from last time, they're famous for their lift kits and suspension, but they're also doing magnificent builds with Jeeps like these two here. We'll talk about this one in a minute. First, I want to talk about this 2023 JL here. Why is a JL like this a good jumping off point when you're doing a build?
When you buy a Jeep like this, it's basically a blank canvas, so it allows the owner to be able to express themselves, do mods on it to kind of show their taste. So obviously this one has some.
I'd say. Now, this came stock with a Hemi.
Yes.
So that part is pretty magnificent, but you've taken it to a whole new level. What are some of the things you added to it?
So we put a rock crawler 3.5-inch X Factor Pro Series aluminum lift under it, along with the Fox 3.0 internal bypass shocks, which actually has over 20 variations of shock absorption from high speed and low speed.
How do you change that?
So basically there's a knob on the front. You just use an Allen head, and then there is a big knob for the high speed and a small knob for the low speed.
So that makes this thing great on the road, great off-road as well.
Now you can fine tune the way that it's going to go on or off road.
What are some other things that have brought this Jeep to the next level?
So for the armor, we went with Genrite off-roads for the front and the rear and the tire carrier. These are great. They're lightweight because they're aluminum, but they're still just as tough as steel.
Why do you guys build Jeeps like this? Why do you go to the extreme?
Well, it's all about, one, expressing your creativity, but also capability.
And you want to show what you're able to do, so if someone wants just a lift kit or something like that, they're going to know you can do all this.
Oh, yeah.
So they can certainly trust you with the lift kit.
Absolutely.
When somebody wants a build, what's the process like?
So they can either come by the store in Decatur, Alabama, or they can call us. Some people come in and they already know what exactly they want, which is kind of easy. We just give them the parts and we put it on. Some others don't have kind of that vision, or they might have a vision but kind of don't know how to put it together, and that's where we help them out, through text, calls, and talking in general with them.
And during the build, what's the communication process like?
So as soon as we get them on the schedule, we start the build, whether it's something small that takes a day or two, or a big build like this that can take multiple weeks. We stay in communication with them between text calls and sending videos to them to show the progress of their build.
What is it like when someone comes in with the blank slate you talked about, just a stock Jeep? Now this one has a Hemi, but a stock Jeep. They bring it into you and you've achieved their vision. You're able to give them something that they maybe couldn't even imagine before.
So when they first come in and see it, you can just tell right away with the way their facial expression is, or their eyes. And it even follows up with a follow-up, the calls, the text, the social media posts, thanking us for the build, and how prideful they are of the outcome of it.
And now that's something you can do with a brand new Jeep. You guys also love the classics at Truckers Warehouse.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so enter this 1983 CJ7. This thing is spectacular. Andrew, you told me this thing was basically a barn find. So what's original on this Jeep?
So you have the radiator and the axles and the frame and the transmission, that's it.
Where'd everything else come from?
Everything else came up from a great company called Amsoil, from the tub to the fenders to the grill, and anything in between, screws, nuts, bolts, and that's where we got it all from.
The highest quality stuff you can find, of course. That's what you guys do. Let's talk about the interior. That's something you wanted to keep period correct, but still bring it up a notch. So what'd you do on the inside?
So we have the custom stitched and Levi button edition seats, front and rear. We also customized the gear shifter to make it a cleaner look.
Yeah, much cleaner look there. You've got a boot. The original boots were rubber. So these are a nicer looking boot there too. And even down to the details, the plate there on the floor where
all custom.
Shifter comes out. Very, very cool work. And the dash is something you guys did as well, right?
Yes, we also, because this wasn't a Golden Eagle, we actually added the tack and the clock into the dash.
That's something that the Golden Eagle always had there, so that's a very cool touch. And of course, the Eagle on the hood looks great. Under the hood, how did you want to stay period correct there?
Everything is period correct with the 258 and the 5-speed transmission.
You guys love to roll out these Jeep builds when you go to the Smoky Mountain Jeep Invasion in Pigeon Forge, which is one of the biggest Jeep events in the country, and it's your biggest event certainly. What do you have planned for folks for 2024?
So we'll be out on the outdoor vendor booth again from August 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. We'll have the J10 from last show, the CJ. We'll have the black 392. We'll also have a silver 392 on portals from 74 weld, which is going to show the contrast between a conventional lift and portals.
Well, if you're in the Pigeon Forge area, you should head on over to the Smoky Mountain Jeep Invasion to see the builds from Truckers Warehouse, because their builds are going to knock your socks off. Believe me, you can also find them online at tw4x4.com. We'll return with more Motorhead Garage presented by Dragonfire Tools.com, so don't go anywhere.